Hey guys, I am back. You know what's really cool about this StreamYard app? Let me adjust this. There we go. About this StreamYard app is pretty cool because you can it tells you how many viewers you have in each channel that you are broadcasting in. So I am broadcasting in on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn Live or LinkedIn all at the same time. But you can broadcast to like four or five places at the same time, actually, like Twitch and your Facebook page, things like that. Right. All right. So what we did yesterday, actually, let's do a little intro. So again, this is I'm calling it for now. I'm calling it designed. I had a couple ideas, but I think for now I'm gonna call this show designed. The other idea I had was the possibility show, but I liked the word designed because it connects to my framework, which is the idea that the world is designed, we are designed, and a lot of our experiences are designed. And if we can take that design mindset and instead of let ourselves be controlled by it and um, yeah, and instead of letting ourselves be controlled by it, we can take more agency in our lives and apply these principles to design how we want our life. And that's the wider conversation of what Tim Ferriss was calling lifestyle design. You have to turn back, almost like a Neo in the Matrix, how Neo at one point at the end turns around and he says no, right? Because he realizes that he's in charge and he can manipulate the Matrix just like the uh, those guys in suits. I forgot. Hugo Weaving was the main sort of bad guy in the first Matrix, right? But anyway, he turns around, he says no, and then the bullets stop, and then he looks at the bullets and he realizes, oh, I can decide what happens to these bullets, and then the bullets just fall down, right? So what you can do is if you have enough understanding of you and what you feel called to, and you become honest with yourself, and you pick up a set of skills and a set of principles, you can then design your actual life, and you can make um, empowered choices, and those choices have trade-offs. Yes, they have consequences, but just like in design we have priorities. Well, this is more important than that. It's like the Eisenhower matrix. There's a diagram called the Eisenhower matrix, and you have on one end you have important and then urgent. Like urgent is like paying a bill. Important is like spending time with your your child, right? Or giving your full attention to your child when your child is trying to show you their new drawing that they made, or making a phone call to to your parent or something like that, right? So there's important versus urgent. But what the world does is if you don't stop and look at everything that's on your plate, if you don't look at all the irons you have in the fire, what happens is that things that are urgent get pushed into the important box unless you zoom out and look and say, nope, you belong in the urgent box. And uh, nobody's going to die if I'm a day late getting this urgent task done, right? But what's important is is what is connected to our calling and who we are as humans, and and who we're being, right? So this show is all about the important part, right? Because there are things that you have in your life that you are fascinated with, that you feel called to, that won't go away, won't go away. You've been at a company for 20 years, but there's this other thing, you know, you really love boxing, and you you watch Creed or uh, or Rocky, and you start crying. You're fascinated with it. You're like, I love this. I wish I could be in this world. I wish I could do this all the time. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to give you the set of tools by which you can start to build that aspect of your life up. And yeah, do it on the side. Nobody's, you know, um, nobody is asking anybody to be drastic and quit their job. You can do that, but you should not do that, right? Because most people can't handle the consequence of that. Some people can, most people cannot, right? So today we're going to go in a different direction and look at how we can create a painting career as an artist. And I I just looked at the list. It's a really long list, and I found that this will be interesting. So I thought, "Huh, I'm gonna do this." I have a couple ideas that really illustrate a lot of the concepts that I've been talking about. So before we start, let's sit back in our chair, and we're just going to relax. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Again, and we're just going to observe what thoughts enter into our consciousness. This is not woo woo weird stuff. It's simply observing as if we are a different person. What thoughts are coming into our heads? What judgments? What shoulds and supposed tos? And you're wasting time here. It's 10 p.m. It's time to go to bed. Who is this guy? Right? Who does this guy think he is? So observe all that. Observe it. Don't judge it. Just observe it. So we're going to do it again. We're going to close our eyes. Let's just take one breath. And here we are, focusing on what's in front of us, a painting career. So, what does that mean? You get to decide what that means. But what I want to do is show you a couple examples, a couple things that have popped into my head that are actually pretty funny. So, this show is going to be a lot of fun. And let's go ahead and get started. All right. So, a painting career, to get started, we are going to decide that version one of our career, or week one or month one, is is our paintings in people's homes. Okay. So let's say that we decide temporarily, because we can decide whatever we want, that we want to have our paintings in people's homes. Great. So the first step is to simply start painting, right? So we're going to start painting. let's zoom in here, without judgment. We are going to live in complete flow. Whatever comes from our intuition is the right answer. Okay. Can we know that for sure? No. But this perspective includes the idea that, well, we don't know anything for sure. Everything is made up. So here's a concept I want you guys to get in your heads. Everything is made up. What does everything is made up mean? Everything is made up means that throughout history, people have created ideas, or they've got an idea in their head and they made it happen, or they've gotten together and they've decided something. Okay. So everything that we call our civilization, civilization is based off of decisions and ideas. Yeah. I'll give you an example. You may think that the Pulitzer Prize is prestigious. There was a time when there was no Pulitzer Prize. It didn't exist. So how was prestige and how was quality of writing measured before the Pulitzer, right? Scott Adams mentioned that he met somebody who who was married to a Pulitzer judge, and he asked this man, "Oh, so what's their process like of deciding who gets the Pulitzer?" And he said, "Well, they gather at somebody's house and they just decide. There is no criteria, right? It's like it's like being a movie or a food critic, right? The reason somebody trusts a food critic is because they're writing articles in a magazine, a food magazine, right? But you could right now decide that you're a food critic and you can go and write articles. The only difference is that your articles aren't in a magazine and maybe you don't have credentials, but those credentials are made up as well. Everything is made up. If you think of let's take the example of food. Very good. So let's take the example of food, right? We have this character named Escoffier, Escoffier, and he decided what good food was because he founded a school. So if you want really the one of the best ways to get your ideas out into the world is to found a school. But was the school there forever? No, there's a certain time when Escoffier founded the school. It didn't exist before he founded the school. So all of us were walking around with these ideas in our head that certain things are fancy, certain things are good. This is good cooking. This is bad cooking. This is how you cook. This is how you cut something. This is how you make. If you think of Gordon Ramsay, Gordon Ramsay has that show Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen, right? Everything on that show is based off a certain set of standards, right? And that's why he always has people cook. Let's see, I think it's scallops and uh, fillet of beef Wellington and some ri- risotto, right? And so all of those things are standards and tests to how much care and attention and detail can you put into making something. But who decided that, right? Who decided that? The people at the chef school decided that. And they decided on a curriculum. So the next time you are very dogged on, well, we have to follow this curriculum, somebody made that up quite honestly. And if you ask them, can you tell me your process for deciding this curriculum that you made? Oh, I just made it up. So how the Pulitzer can make up its criteria we can do that as well. So, and that's what we're doing here. We're using our power, our agency as human beings in this simulation to start deciding and choosing for ourselves what counts as good, what counts as bad, right? And the way that you test your measuring system is that you use it to make predictions. If you can't use it to make predictions, then maybe the stuff that you made up isn't that useful. Okay, so good ideas travel, and good ideas get used and expounded upon, like architecture. Right? If you imagine the first architects, they were trying just to keep water off their head. And then over time, a body of knowledge got built up, and now there's a school and there's a degree. But those aren't the only ways of building, right? There's many schools of building, and somebody decided that this school of building, or this school of politics, or this school of economics is what we're going to teach at this school, right? So let's take uh, economics, for example. There's the Ludwig von Mises school. That's an alternate school of economics that most of the time you aren't even going to hear about it if you go to college and get your master's or a PhD. You have to find out about it from people like Ron Paul or the online, right? So there's all the schools. There's always different schools, and what school wins out often is whichever school the governmental entity funds and supports. So there's some politics involved. That's another layer of everything is made up, right? It's politics. Okay. Oh shoot, politics, politics. All right. So back to our idea of having a painting career. I can do this in like 10 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to start painting without judgment and in complete flow. Then we're going to very cleverly place our paintings where there is no judgment, because we're trying to stay out of this world for now. We're just trying to build up. Our goal is to have paintings in people's homes, not to be famous and be in the Met Gallery or in the different or in MoMA or or make tons of money. We're not doing that right now. Let's put all that to the side for now. Put it all to the side. Place paintings where there is no judgment. So that's cafes, restaurants, and what we can do is we can, because pricing is arbitrary, right? We could say our painting is $100, right? With a 50% discount. We could do a 100% discount. We can do 90% discount. It's totally up to you, because our goal is to get paintings in people's homes. So what we can do is we can do our gear shifting, where we are at uh, we're in first gear. We're just getting our paintings in people's homes so that the ideas travel and other people see them and say, "Hey, that's an awesome painting. Where'd you find that?" "Oh, I found it at my local coffee shop." So you could hit up 10 different coffee shops and feature your paintings, right? Then you can decide, after 100, I'm going to raise the price. So let's say sell, well, not 100, that's a lot. Sell 10 paintings, then raise the price, right? And we can just keep doing that until we get to however much we decide our paintings are at. So let's make something up right now. Um, so let's decide that we're going to stop at $500. So we have our paintings at $500, right? So, and it's that simple. Everything else is just a set of judgments that we put on it. Well, it has to look like this. It has to be it has to be on this canvas. It has to be acrylic. It has to be oil. This is art, man. This is fashion. It can be whatever we want it to be, right? This is not engineering where if we get it wrong, somebody's going to die, or it's not medicine. Most work is not like engineering or medicine. If we get it wrong, even computers, getting your code wrong is not going to kill somebody, right? Getting your design wrong is not going to kill somebody, right? So we can just most of these things are, especially creative work. We can be more. We can do all kind of things with creative work. Okay. So another thing is, let's say we want to get our name out. We can do what we see people doing on the street, which is we can do. Let's see. Let's say V2 is street painting, and the way that we infuse it with value is that we do personalized paintings. Very easy. So value. We we have various vectors of how we can do value. Right. All right. So for example, one value is personalized. So just like people pay for those personalized pictures, right? So what we can do is we can say, um, give me a couple keywords and I'll make a painting for you. Come back in 10 minutes. So we can do personalized paintings, right? Personalized paintings based on, you know, um, keyword. We could just make stuff up. We could say aura. I looked at the person's aura, right? Right? Keywords, auras, how we feel that day, how we feel that day, right? We can just do it based off our intuition, okay? Right? So there's another way we can get a lot of paintings out fast. So get a lot of paintings out fast. We can adopt that Jackson Pollock, where we're just like throwing paint up, right? And so let's go to. Are you guys getting my thought process? Don't look at the details. Get the essence. Get my point. Get what I'm trying to convey to you is that for most things outside of disciplines where, again, if you get it wrong, people die, you can decide, man. You can do whatever you want and you can just go out and experiment with things. So all I'm doing is giving you suggestions as to how to experiment. So V3, we could just we could partner. And you could do V1 for V2. You could switch them up to you. Okay. Who would need a partner? Who would need a partner? Let's see. Off the top of my head, who would want some free paintings? Let's see. Real estate, staging, uh, realtors, that's realtors. Because they're doing staging, right? And who else would want that? Interior designer who wants some um, custom, what who would want paintings to match their um, design themes, or match the color palette. So the interior designer can say, "Hey, I want this type of painting, and it has to have this color, this color, this color, because that's what I'm going to use. That's going to complement everything else I do in the house, the furniture I buy, the vases, The paint, the color of paint on the walls, the flooring, right? Who else would want to partner with you? Let's see. Let's do this. Street painting. Yeah, there you go. Partner. If anybody has any other ideas for how other people you could partner with, please let me know. Who else needs Who else needs paintings? Okay, we could put um, clothing boutiques, and you do the same trick I did before. Price it at 100, but say, hey, in exchange for me putting my card on the painting or me putting my name on the painting on a little plaque on the side, I will drop the price for you, right? Because we're in promotion mode. So the idea of promotion is offer discount um, in exchange for um, for promotion. Let's just do that. Just do it like that. There you go. Yeah, hey guys, I'm gonna reorganize this really quick because if one of you guys wants these, um, you can go ahead and contact me and I'll send these out to you guys. So value. Oh no. There you go. So the value that we're doing here is personalization. Personal. And you may be watching this video after the fact, and you may come up with a completely different way of creating value. Ah, there it is. Personalized paintings. Personalization. Personalization. All right. I'm gonna go quiet for a couple seconds, and I'm gonna think what else we can add here. Who else would want to be a partner for our paintings? Let's think of one more, and we'll end it. Also, just to demonstrate, it really helps to just get quiet and just let the idea come. Here we go. Schools, libraries, companies. A lot of companies, smaller companies, also want some artwork on their walls, and then hotels. There you go. You see that? So that was one, two, three, four more places that would love to have some really big canvas paintings, right? And there you go, your painting career. Then you shift gears. Once you have your paintings all out here, then you make a website and then you list my paintings are featured in this boutique, this school, this library, this company's lobby, front desk, this hotel, this hotel, this hotel, right? So you see how we created everything is made up. Okay, so we created our credibility by just hustling. right? Nobody has to know, how much you actually got paid. They only have to know how much you priced it at. They don't have to know how much you actually got paid or that you gave, the school a 100% discount, right? Nobody has to know that, right? And if you look into a lot of the things that you hold very in high esteem, you'll realize that a lot of those things are just as fake. Grammys is fake. Okay. The Oscars is fake. The Booker Award is fake. The Pulitzer is fake. Okay. Maybe fake is not a good word, but a lot of these things are contrived and they aren't as merit based as we think they are, actually. Okay. And recall the example of the Pulitzer that I talked about earlier in the live stream. Okay. Everything is made up. There's not a judgment. It's not good or bad. Everything is made up. Yeah, Jose, not everything. You know what I'm talking about. 99% of things in the world are made up, which means we can decide to make things up. Okay? So that's the main lesson, the main principle I want to get across today. Because if you sit down and meditate and think about this and understand what the implications of the idea that everything is made up, it frees you. It gives you an immense amount of freedom to be able to spin up careers, spin up businesses, spin up whatever your passions or dreams are. Using these principles, you can spin things up the same way that um, Microsoft is spun up or Google is spun up. If there was a point where it didn't exist, that means it's made up by definition, right? It's not the stars in the sky. You know, humans for humans, there was no point in our history where we looked up and the stars weren't there. Right? Everything else is made up. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. And I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Again, my name is Zaid Hisham. And if you want this mind map that I've been building over the past week or so, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm going to put my LinkedIn right here as I close out the show. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you.